Want more stories in your life without adding to your TBR? That's where Audible comes in. I use it for the original novellas, the Plus catalog like Keanu Reeves' Veronica Speedwell series, and those audiobook sales that you can beat. Right now, Audible has a special offer for new and returning members. Click the link in the show notes to see what deal you'll get and start listening today. Hi, Amy. Welcome to the What's Your Next podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I live in a small town in Wisconsin. I have a 3-generation home right now. My mom lives with us. She's 89, and our adult daughter lives with us, and I'm married. We have a herd of cats, 4 cats, and yeah, it's in a nutshell. I don't know. What else do you want to know? I've been writing for a long time. I'm probably old school. I originally wrote for Harlequin back in the day, but my first book was published in 2006, and then I went indie in I don't know, 2012 maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm a slow writer. I'll say I only have 30 some books, which some people are like, oh my gosh, you have 30 books. But as you guys know, a lot of romance writers write a book a month. So that's not me. I wish I could write faster, but yeah. So I write contemporary romance. Small town is what I'm writing right now. And characters are my jam. So yeah, I like writing heart-tugging, emotional reads that are kind of, I call them rom-com adjacent. My latest ones, I have a llama. And I think if you have a llama, you can't be too serious. So a llama in my books. Let me clarify that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, damn, you have a llama in Wisconsin?
A llama, a fictional llama. I do have a big stuffed llama in my office too, but
yeah, my grandfather's Peruvian, so my mom actually met my grandfather when she was 18. He was not in the picture when she was growing up, so she went to Peru and she came back with the llama, and customs actually got rid. They thought she was bringing drugs. She was so mad. Like to this day, like this is when she was 18. My mom was in her 60s, and she's like, to this day, they took away my llama.
Right, that's trauma. That's llama trauma.
This llama trauma. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I come from part of my family is Peruvian, so I do come from the llamas.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We need to go. We need to do a llama excursion trip.
Me too. So I have so many questions about your journey because I think it's something interesting to talk about someone who started with Harlequin and then turning to indie. Talk to us about your experience with Harlequin because I think people don't know. I think in this day and age, people think they're AI. The Harlequin around for a long time. It's the butter of the foundational romance. There's very specific rules on what to write Harlequin.
Yeah.
What is a category romance and how the plotting and stuff. So what helped you talk to us about the experience of writing for category romance. What is category romance in specifics? And then we'll talk about how that helped you with indie when you transitioned over to indie.
Sure. Yeah. So category romance, back in the day before indie publishing, you have a lot of choices. It was the only game in town, not category romance, but going through a publisher was the only game in town. And category romance, it's a little bit shorter, but I wrote for their longest line, which was super romance. So I'm basically still writing the same length right now, which is 80,000 words. And I don't know what that equates to in pages but there were my line was one of had the least restrictions, I would say, but it did have restrictions. You had a word count. You had to hit your word count within a couple thousand words. With my line, there was sex scenes were allowed. I don't think they were required, but there's little rules you found out. I don't think they were ever written on any, nobody ever, I don't know. There was not a manual, but you can't use the word God during a sex scene. That's my best example. It's try writing a love scene and have them say anything that's not, oh my God. And it's there's a lot less swearing, very limited swearing. And I'm a kind of a potty mouth. So it was write it, then edit it out. So there was, other than that, there was a lot of freedom in my line. But what I liked about writing for category was I was a new writer. I'm one of those people with the more choices you have, the more paralyzed I get. So I appreciated some structure. Okay, well, I know I'm writing an 80,000 word book. And so it was really different. We had to write for my line, we had to write 20-page synopses to sell a book. And I am now a pantser. And so, like, imagine somebody who's destined to be somebody who doesn't plot very much having to write a 20-page synopsis of what's going to happen in their book. And so I would always tell my editor, this is not actually what's going to happen, right? Because it doesn't work that way. So,
Yeah.
but accepting that journey, that was huge for me. Like, I wanted to make that synopsis work. I wanted to write that. I wanted to just have it all planned out and then just write the words because I like the wordsmithing part of it more than the
Yeah.
plotting. Um, and so I think that was kind of fundamental in helping me figure out what my actual process is. I like that was what my process is not.
Yeah.
So so yeah, there was, and it was, but I learned so much from writing for editors. The first book I sold to them, I think I probably wrote 4 full revisions of it. And that is an exercise that has helped me with every book because it's like it allows you to look at something and be able to pluck out a major element and then replace it with something else. It's like surgery on a book. And that's not like, I don't think that's an inherent skill set a lot of us have.
Yeah.
So it gave me like really valuable writing mechanics skills and helped me kind of figure out my process. So when I went indie, I, I did have this point where I didn't publish for 2 years because I was like, I don't have any restrictions or guidelines or structure now. What do I want to write?
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for me. And I did land in a very similar place, contemporary romance. There's a lot more swear words now. And
Yeah.
for better or worse, there's people that hate that. So, but I'm like, but this is me. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was super educational.
Yeah, I think in some ways it's kind of like a foundation of like learning what works, what doesn't work for you. And
Yeah.
I too suffer from executive function freezing, of paralyzing. Like I got too many choices. Either
Yes.
too many choices or I have no choices. It's black or white. And actually
Yep.
having someone to give you a structure of the
Yeah.
parameters and to do this, and then I rebel them because it's like, why would you
Exactly.
structure? I know I need it, but why do you give me that?
Yeah. It's like learning the rules and then you can break them kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in some ways it gives you the foundation to like, yes, you can write a book. Yes, you have proven over that you can do it.
Yes.
And now you're like, okay, then you get the freedom of like going indie. And indie has its own set of rules and so it's like market and jobs that are included in writing that you may
Yeah.
not have in the Harlequin. Like they're getting distributed to the Walmarts and the spaces
Yes.
and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
now as an indie have to figure out the distribution and how
Yeah.
people get the book. The
Exactly. How do you market it? Although I will say most publishers don't market a lot. And like, but yeah, absolutely. It's like how to do it all.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I love about indie publishing is I love control.
Yes.
I did have some covers with Harlequin that I had one that I'm sorry, but I thought the hero looked like Spock on the cover. And it's little things like that just kind of added up. So when indie became a possibility, I'm like, oh, I'm so in for that. So
Yeah. You were in the early indie days because this is after Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey. It's that era where
yep.
we're like the boom that happened for indie. Talk to us about that transition over to indie. And then looking back, because it's been what, 13 years? So it's more than a decade at
Yeah.
this point. And
Yeah.
trends
Yeah.
have changed dramatically. Like
Yeah.
even I've been doing this for 10 years and I can see like really major shifts happening even in the indie space that we didn't
Oh
see
yeah.
until 10 or 15 years ago.
I would say I missed the boom. Like I'm not a trendsetter. I'm not a trailblazer. So like indie came along and like that's kind of cool, but I don't know. And I was still under contract with Harlequin. And I feel like the boom happened. I didn't publish my first indie full length book until 2017 because we did have that period of what am I writing? And and that's the only time in my career that I have manuscripts that I didn't finish because I was experimenting. So I kind of
Yeah.
missed the big boom. And by the time I published, I'm like, you hear about the big boom and like people just publish and they sell. And I kind of hit like right after that. And so I published and it didn't just sell. And I'm like, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I came along to indie with where it was just starting to be more of a job to get discovered. Yeah, things have changed so much even since 2017. Like, it's amazing what indie authors are doing, like with special editions and with running their empires, like direct sales. I'm big on direct sales. That was unheard of even really 5 years ago, I would say. So, I personally love the business and marketing side,
Yeah.
and I've figured out like the way to make this a career. Of course, we all want to write the books. To make it a career, you have to run a business and you have to pivot constantly. And whatever worked 3 years ago is most likely not working right now. Like, so you can't just do the same thing again. And if you're
Yeah.
not growing, you're probably not progressing. So it's a challenge every day. I mean, it's frustrating, of course. It's like, come on, I just learned how to do this. And now this doesn't work and I have to learn how to do this. But
Yeah,
it,
I think it's just the regular, like we're all doing this, especially in this world. Not just in the book world. I think it's just in the world right now. It's like we gotta be nimble.
yes,
Like these are
yes,
trending, they're moving really fast. Like what it used to take years or months is now days or hours. It's like
yeah,
it's overwhelming. And again, you get the overwhelming and then you get
yes,
paralyzed and you don't do anything and you're like, what am I
right.
supposed to do? It's already
Absolutely.
gone.
Yes, yeah, that's true with everything. It's really true with indie because you have to really be careful about selecting what you're gonna focus on. Like,
Yeah.
my books aren't in Kindle Unlimited, so I am focusing on wide retailers. I'm focusing on my direct sales. I'm just starting to get into special editions. I know those are huge and I love them, but they're a little bit harder when you're not writing romantasy or dark
Yeah.
romance or,
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's a lot.
Let's talk about direct sale because I think like I just talked to Samantha Chase about being white and like
Uh-huh.
the specifics of it. I think direct sale is something that people don't know that you can buy from the author. I
Yeah, yeah,
think that specific thing, like, as I think we've been trained to just go to Amazon or
yep,
to specific retailers, and that's what we're gonna get because we have the reader that fits to that.
yeah,
But
right.
sales is something that people may not know that exists because I know Kindle Limited has limited that ability for
Yeah,
all studios. So
right.
it's about that vertical of business.
Okay, yep, it's
Yeah,
exciting, and also, I cut me off when you need to because I like to talk about it.
that's okay.
Um, I said I wasn't a trailblazer, and that is the exception. I've had my direct store for, I think it's 3 years now. I might be wrong, it might be 2, but I think it anyway, I jumped in early because the reason I'm wide is I don't wanna depend on one company for my income, like, and I know that's can be controversial for some people, and that's fine, I don't wanna argue about for me, like, I see accounts being shut down on Amazon, and, like, they're 90% of that person's income, and that's detrimental. Their family's depending on that, so, I jumped early for direct sales. It is definitely an entirely I'm training my readers and it's not just my readers, it's like training readers, period. I love it because I have a marketing background, so it is like a separate business. I still have my traditional author business where I publish to the 5 retailers and I do promotions to build those. But then I have this other business where I sell my books and merchandise on my website, and it's a Shopify store, and
Yeah.
it's the tech of it is wonderful. It's like, because I'm not a tech person, it's easy for a reader to use. And probably if you're a reader, you probably bought something on Shopify, whether you realize it or not. Not necessarily books, but like so many little businesses have Shopify's. So, and it's funny because you don't realize you've been to Shopify and then you're checking out on another website, another business, and it's like, do you want to log into your Shopify? It's like, I didn't know I had a Shopify. So anyway,
Yeah.
it's really easy to do business on Shopify as a reader. When you buy ebooks from authors on Shopify, you can get those books on your reader no matter what you read on. I think that's one of the biggest fears that readers have. Um, they're delivered by Book Funnel, and if you're a reader who has ever downloaded like a free reader magnet, like a bonus epilogue or a free prequel through Book Funnel, you already have that set up and it is delivered the same way. And you get an email from Book Funnel saying, here's your ebook. You can read it online right now, or you can send it to your reader. And it will ask you, do you have a Kindle? Do you have an Apple Books or a Kobo reader, whatever? What is your reader? And you just check it and it goes there. Like, I don't know, it's magic. I don't
It is
understand.
magic, and it has a great audiobook player, by the way, if you sell your and
Yes.
stuff. It is
Yes.
a great I love listening to audios there. It's like, one, I can buy directly from the author, or I may get an early access from it, but the audio player is excellent. Like,
It
it's
is.
excellent, it doesn't do any magic,
Yep.
it's a great alternative from not going to Audible, because
Yep.
Audible is it's the ecosystem. I hope we learned this year that or this week when the internet shut down because everyone depended upon Amazon's web
Uh-huh.
services.
Right.
Everyone put the egg in
Yes.
that basket, and then the whole internet shut down. Like, not
Yeah.
exaggeration, but a lot of things shut down. And it's
Yes.
like, because we depend on one single vendor, it's the
Yep.
same thing. It's like the house is correct. We kind of have to diversify our income. It's like when we think about
Yep.
investment, we don't
Right.
invest in just one stock. We invest in
Yep.
multiple stocks. Like,
Exactly.
like if something happens, you're not fully like depression.
Yeah. Right. Right. Absolutely. Totally. I'm agree with you on the book funnel audio reader or player, because I'm a total audiobook person. And so if you do all your reading with audio, you can be picky about your player, and I
Yeah.
love it. It's great. And I also like Kobos. They function very similarly to Audible and Chirp, their reader or their players. So the other benefits of being direct for me, like I said, it's control. But for readers, I can discount my books and still make more than I'm making when you buy them on Amazon. So because Amazon takes 30% off the top, all the retailers do, or approximately 30% if they're in a certain price range. And so my regular prices are pretty similar to retailers, but I discount like crazy. Like my promotional schedule it's on a spreadsheet, and it's like I'm running an audio sale every month. I'm running a bundle sale every month. I do a couple ebook sales every month. So um, you can save money if you
Yeah.
buy direct. Not always, but like that's one of our things. Like if you buy a bundle, you can save 50%, you can save 35%. And um, yeah, so definitely benefits for readers too. Your money's not going to support a big, huge billionaire company.
Yeah.
You're supporting these little starving artists.
Yes. You're
Authors.
supporting authors.
Yeah.
You, Amy, for talking about this area in direct sales, because I think it's something that it's not often talked about, especially in this market right now. Everything's kind of limited, and then it's
Yeah.
like the white. Actually, I used to before 2016 when I started reading. I was reading a lot of white authors because it was what it was available. It was like what I could
Right.
read and something like. And I think we missed out on authors who are thriving in this space. I think we
Right.
assume there's just like there's only one way. And it's like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's multiple ways. Readers, not every reader is looking for Kindle Unlimited, not every reader. The other part is that your books can be available in the library. They can be purchased.
Yep.
That opportunity. So
Right.
opportunities for accessibility that
Yep.
Amazon doesn't allow you to. So I think it's important. I'm glad that you're talking about it and sharing that experiences from an author perspective, and the fact that it's a business. It's actually not as scary for the reader.
Yeah. That's the thing. It really isn't. Like, I'm not, like I told you, I'm not a trailblazer. And so, like, to figure out how to buy from an author and put it on I only read on my phone because
Yeah.
I'm remedial, but that intimidates me because I don't want to learn something new. But
Yeah.
once you do it once, it's like, okay, that was no big deal. And everything's in my book funnel library, and I can go
Yeah.
search and see, oh, did I already buy that book? It's just,
Yeah.
it's not, it's one step removed from Amazon where you put it in your cart and they're like, you already own this book, or you can see the thing that says you already own it, but it's just one step removed from that. You have everything in your book funnel library. And yeah, I think I love to buy direct now because it's easy, because I did it.
I think
Figured out
I'm
how.
actually excited to do that. Like, I may go to your store and buy you some books because I think it's like a fun little thing to be like, no, actually. And I think how to find it, obviously get on authors' newsletters. If authors,
Yep.
they'll send promotions and stuff. If you like an author, join their newsletter. Yes, for the bonus epilogues or the bonus content. But it's
Yeah.
not because they will tell what books you're reading, but they also tell you, like, they might have collaborations with other authors, and it can give you like referrals, recommendations for
Right.
other authors to look
Yeah.
at. And I think that's
Yeah.
like a great place to be in the know. So it's
Yep.
like just apply for newsletter.
Yeah. Also, there's a little site. It's a site. called bydirectfromauthors.com, and it's one of my fellow authors organizes it. So it is kind of a directory of authors who have direct stores. So it's not exhaustive. You have to pay a really small fee to be on it, but that's a way to find authors who sell direct. The other thing about direct sales is paperbacks is a different world. Like everybody who comes to my store and buys paperbacks, I sign them. And my daughter packs them pretty. She wraps them, she puts twine around them. You get a bookmark, the book is signed, you get stickers. So it's a different experience
Yeah.
from getting an Amazon envelope with your paperback with a dent in it. So that's super fun for me because I feel like it's a way to connect with readers, just even though it's just by my book is getting in their house. My presents from me, the bookmarks and the stickers are getting into their house. And so hopefully that means something to readers too. So
Yeah. Oh, love this. All right.
yeah.
We're going to talk about your latest series for single dads. We're going to
Yes.
start with Single Wish, which is coming out in December 5th.
Mhm.
That's a Christmas tree farmer enemies to lovers. She's coming back to town. She's like, they're like, they have to work together and whatnot. First of all, to talk to the series, because I know this is book 5, and then we'll talk about Single Wish.
Sure. So the series is Single Dads of Dragonfly Lake. Dragonfly Lake is my small town world. It's a fictional town in like an hour south of Nashville, Tennessee. Obviously, it's on a lake. So, and I actually have my Henry Brothers series is also set there. So, book 4 in the Henry Brothers was also a single dad. This is the 6th book of single dads in a row that I've written. I love single dads. And yeah, but the series is like a group of guys who are single dads who get together. It was originally every week on Saturdays they got together because they're single dads. And like, first of all, they need time away from being a single dad. And second of all, it's like a support group. My kid is doing this. And it's the guys, one of them has a teenager. One of them had like literally a baby on the doorstep that they didn't know they had. So it's this range. I tried to make every story kind of a different backstory as to how they became a single dad. Of course, some of them lost their spouse. Some of them never knew they had a baby and it was just an ex-girlfriend. Some of them, like one of them, his cousin had a baby and the cousin died and left the baby for him, made him the guardian. And so it's like a range of how they became single dads, but they're all single dads. So they have that in common. And as like each guy finds his love and settles down, they keep meeting, even though they're not single dads anymore, but like families start taking over. So like it was every week and now they're like lucky to make it once a month because four of them are married. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
fun to like make the group progress through the books. So Single Wish, the hero, Luke, he's the one guy of the single dads who has been like, I do want a wife. And because all the other guys are like, they have their various reasons, but they don't want love. They don't want a
Yeah.
wife. This guy is like the guy who's like, you guys really don't want a partner. You don't want somebody who can go home to you every night. And so finally he gets his story and he gets his love and Single Wish. But it's like the least likely person he would ever think he would hook up with again. It is second chance. So he and Magnolia did have kind of a secret relationship in high school because
Yeah.
she was the town rich girl, like the spoiled, filthy rich girl. She was a mean girl.
Yeah.
He was a farm kid. So like their little high school involvement was secret. And then something happened that she was involved in that really hurt his family. And so ever since then, they have hated each other.
Yeah.
And they're fine hating each other. They don't want anything to do with each other. It's a small town. And so they come into contact with each other. And so some of the books you see them come into contact and kind of like snarl at each other to kind of hint the story coming up. But now they have to. So Magnolia, the heroine, her father disowned her 2 years before this book. And so she's been kind of working on redemption since then, but like behind the scenes. So it is a redemption story for Magnolia. She just opened an event planning business and she is bound and determined to make it work. She wants to prove to the townspeople that she's not the mean girl that she was. There's a lot of backstory on this one and you understand why she was a mean girl. You understand. It's like it all comes to light and it's like, oh, it makes sense now. It doesn't excuse it, but it makes sense now because she had a heck of a childhood, a really messed up childhood. And so she made her first official, once she opens her business, job is to plan one of her really good friends' wedding, Christmas Eve wedding. The venue is Luke's brand new renovated barn. So she has to work with Luke to make, number one, her business work, and number two, her friend's wedding, the wedding of her dreams, which is
Yeah.
single dad number 4, by the way. So,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. So you encourage the listeners to read them in order. I think that's probably it can be standalone, but you get
Yep.
the most out of it just reading
Yep.
the series in order. What better way to binge in this Christmas time? Just like
Yeah,
series.
absolutely. In fact, book 2 is also a Christmas book. So Single All the Way is a Christmas book. It was Friends to Lovers, Second Chance, Forbidden Love, Christmas. And that's the one where that hero owns the llamas. So yeah, but they are all standalone. So like if you don't want to go back to book 1, you can jump into this and you'll be fine. But yeah, the single dads, they're a community, and I think it's, if you're one who likes to read series and I would definitely start with book 1, which is Singled Out.
Awesome. All right. So Amy, let's talk about some book recommendations. You
Okay.
have some evergreen recommendations to share with
do.
that.
I do.
Tell us like what books do you want to recommend our listeners to pick up?
Okay. So like you said, they're evergreen. Most of them aren't recent, but Lucy Score and Claire Kingsley's Bootleg Springs series.
Yeah.
Loved it. It's funny, but it's heart tug. The romances are wonderful, but it's set in Bootleg Springs, which is like this redneck town. Like they thrive on their redneckness. Like moonshine, town events revolve around moonshine, and there's fights, but it fits. It's like the hero don't get in a fight, but it works for this world. You don't think what is going on. It's just over the top, funny, and really just swoony, steamy romance stories. So I love them.
I am excited to read that. I actually have it on my to-do list. I think Claire Kingsley may have a Lady Billionaire series too. I think there's like another
Yes. Well, she was one
of many. There was like a group of authors.
Yeah, yeah.
Lady Billionaire.
It was also wonderful. It was her and Lucy and Catherine Nolan, I think, and I'm the 4th person right now, but they were wonderful also. Yeah, I love when those two collaborate. That one's fun because it flips the whole billionaire trope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I love these. Like I'm like, oh, these are like great backlist titles. I'm like, they're actually worth to read.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah, I know, and I haven't read their entire backlist yet just because I'm always like, I try to balance between binging my favorite authors and then new to me authors. So,
Yes.
and I just saw like Lucy Score has a holiday romance that is an old book but recovered. I just saw it yesterday. I'm like, add it to the list.
That's it. So there's so many books.
I know. So many books, so little time. It's a cliche, but it's so true.
All right. Amy, tell us your outline.
AmyKnuppBooks.com is my website and my store. I have a Facebook readers group. If you want to join that, it's Amy Knupp's Bibliophiles, which is, I don't love the name, but we're out there.
It's so good.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you, Amy, for a great conversation.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to the What to Read Next. For more book lists, cozy reads, and library tips, visit the whattoreadnextblog.com. Your next great read might be waiting there.